Education, they say, is the cure for poverty. However, in developing nations, while education may be available, the question of quality that will ensure that graduates are employable is on the front burner. The United Nations recommends that nations allocate at least 20% of their national budget to achieve universal, inclusive and equitable basic education for all by 2030, a situation the Minister of Education says will soon be the case in Nigeria.
This government values education. From our president, who has made education a major priority of his government, he is prepared to put on the table up to 25% of the national budget. So we have to put on our thinking cap as leaders in the ministry and other stakeholders in this business to give him reason to bring out 25% of the national budget.
Figures by the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics puts inflation at 25.8%, unemployment at 4.1%, and over 70 million Nigerians suffering from extreme poverty. These have adversely affected the education system, which currently has over 10 million out-of-school children and a funding problem that affects those in schools.
If you take a tour of our schools, be it the federal institution, the state institution, it will interest you to know that a lot need to be done. It will interest you to know that some parents do send their children even to Niger Republic here for them to go and acquire education. Where is Niger compared to Nigeria?
The removal of subsidy on petrol in May 2023 appeared to have further worsened the situation, placing a higher burden on students as prices of commodities and fees skyrocketed. The result of that are protests in some parts of the country by students who are lamenting the increase. The Vice Chancellor of the Nasarawa State University, KEFI, Professor Suleiman Bala Mohammed, says authorities feel the pain of students, but that notwithstanding, schools have their hands tied as allocated funds alone cannot cater for the day-to-day running of the schools. A position his counterpart in Lagos corroborates.
The cost of maintenance of the hostel has also gone high. In terms of the clinic, the maintenance of the clinic has also gone up. The ICT facilities, the cost of maintaining the facilities and expanding the facilities have also gone up. So we are also considering the increment in some of the charges that we are doing. But we are also conscious of the fact that it is a general situation across the country. Our parents are also not faring well, and so we are also mindful of that.
Now, I know a lot of people have said, oh, let the poor breathe. But I also feel that the poor deserve quality education. And you cannot do that on what we were charging before. Whether they are poor, whether students are poor or not, they're going to go out there and compete with everybody else out there. And we must give them what they can use to compete so that they don't stay poor forever.
For several years, the education sector has been getting less than 10% of the national budget. Specifically this year, it has received 1.79 trillion, which is about 8.2% of the yearly funding. Experts think that we need to do more to improve the education system and opportunities for graduates.
If we have that increased allocation, the expectation is that once well utilized, our universities in particular will become centers that can attract foreign lecturers, that can attract foreign students, and we can even put a stop to our students going out. And then, of course, that will, in no doubt, ensure the socio-economic development of the country.
It's not just the money, it's not just the allocation. We've had several allocations in the past, maybe 5%, maybe 10%, but how far do we go in implementing it? Right? How far do we go in the implementation of those funding?
With internet penetration on the rise, more and more people are getting access and learning new skills, and because the government wants to make lots of digital jobs, the President Tinubu-led government has a big job ahead, Everyone will be watching to see how they will make policies to decrease poverty, make jobs, support education, and help people learn new skills for modern jobs. Victor Matthias, Channels Television News.